Hi butterflies, welcome to my garden. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. And now let's get into the video. Hi my butterflies, I'm back again. And first of all, I am so sorry that I haven't been able to post any videos as of late. It sometimes I just run out of ideas on what to talk about, and I just run out of inspirations on topics to discuss or to research or to orate. However, I've been fine. Lockdown is over in Sydney. I'm back at work and back to working full time rather. And it's been a bit of a it's taken a little bit of a readjustment process just to get used to not having as much free time anymore and working full time and then trying to navigate and juggle and regulate my time and allocate time into different things. So, just kind of relearning and unlearning certain things. But yeah, I'm back again, and today I wanted to talk about something that struck me a while ago, maybe a few days ago. Um, and it's not the first time that I've heard this specific topic, and it's about preferences versus prejudice, and if a man's preference is transphobic or not. Okay, so first of all, the first time that this topic really sort of gained momentum was a few years ago on Celebrity Big Brother UK. And there's this trans personality called India Willoughby or something, and she tried to make a pass at the R&B singer Genuine, who's known for hits like Pony and Differences. I think that's my favorite song from him. It's called Differences. And so she tried to plant a kiss on him, and he sort of rebuffed her advances, and he said he wouldn't date a trans woman, and she was visibly upset and she was offended, and it sparked a whole debate online when that happened, and there was a whole topic of conversation. So I remember when that happened, and I saw the different opinions that were being shared and all the voices that were voiced online and all the opinions that were shared on the internet. And I saw everything, I read a lot of it. And I've never really personally discussed it openly, like online, but I got into this conversation with this girl a few days ago. And I'm not going to name her because, yeah, I'm not going to name her because I didn't exactly get her permission to discuss this. So me being that I'm discussing this on camera, I would prefer just to keep her identity anonymous because that's her choice. And that's fine. So we had a conversation. Well, not necessarily a conversation, it was more like a debate. And she's of a very strong opinion that if a man is not interested in dating a trans woman, that makes him transphobic because his preferences are transphobic and trans exclusionary. And I'm thinking, well, no, not necessarily. I don't necessarily believe that a man's dating preferences, excluding trans women, makes him transphobic. Now, let me start first. And this was the conversation that we had. And I was on one side and she was on the other side. And then she basically dismissed me and saying like, oh, what do you know? You have pretty privilege. I'm like, oh, excuse me? Um, I have never considered myself to be of the pretty privilege category, but whatever. I've always tried to lead with my personality and something else other than the physical appearance, which, it's nice to have. It's nice to be pleasant looking or aesthetically pleasing, but I don't consider myself as somebody who benefits from pretty privilege. I don't. I really don't. But she said, oh, what do you know? You have pretty privilege, meaning you can get any man you want. If I can get any man I want, trust me, I'll be married to, I don't know, LeBron James or something. Or, I don't know, I'll be married to a wealthy, handsome, sexy billionaire, but that's not the case now, is it? Anyway, that's not the case yet. Mm. Anyway, so her opinions got me thinking. I don't, oh God, there's a lot of girls who are going to get upset with me for saying this, but I don't think a man not choosing to date a transgender woman makes him transphobic. Let me start by defining what transphobia is. So, transphobia is basically, by basic definition, is a dislike or prejudice towards transsexuals, transgender people, or basically anybody of trans experience, right? And him, a man preferring not to date a trans woman, that doesn't necessarily make him transphobic. Now, for me, there are certain men that I wouldn't date. It doesn't mean that I dislike them. It doesn't mean that I dislike them. It doesn't mean that I'm phobic towards this specific group of men. There are certain people that I would not associate with. Doesn't mean that I dislike them. Now, if a man is saying, "Oh, I would never hire a transgender person at my company," or "I will never rent my apartment to a transgender person," that's where it crosses the line to prejudice. But however, dating preferences is different. Everybody has the right to choose. And I don't think that having a dating preference makes you phobic. There are some men, there are some black men. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna go there. But we all have a right to choose. You like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like. Like, you don't, I'm not for everyone. There's some people that I wouldn't date, and that's fine, and vice versa. There's some people that are not going to date me. There's some people that wouldn't be interested in pursuing a relationship of any kind with someone like me, and that's okay. That's fine. It's not taking food out of my mouth. It's not taking money out of my bank account. It's not robbing me of sleep at all. Now, I think it all comes down to the fact that a lot of these girls who feel this way are girls who have not been able to master the art of handling rejection. That's the problem, because a lot of these girls come from privilege, especially a lot of these girls have had to experience male privilege, white privilege. So they've been able to go through the world not being able to handle basic rejection because they've had so many opportunities and so many chances that have been afforded to them. So therefore, when they transition and they're on the other side and they're a minority, they just can't handle that rejection out, the possibility that somebody could just not be interested in you. It doesn't mean he's transphobic, he's just not into you. And your ego should be able to handle that. Like, where do these girls get that sense of entitlement from? Like, oh, just because he doesn't want to date me, that means he's transphobic. That's a very strong label to put on people. And I don't encourage people to just label anyone as phobic of any kind without due diligence or proper research or proper evidence. I think it's reckless, it's irresponsible, and it's just entitled, and it's stupid. Sorry, stupid. Just because somebody doesn't want to date you doesn't necessarily mean that they're transphobic. Just the same way you don't want to date anyone. One more thing that I'd like to use as a case in point is this. For instance, some men like blonde women. That doesn't mean that they are prejudiced towards brunettes or redheads or everyone else in between, and therefore the excluded group shouldn't be offended. In the same token, some men like voluptuous women, some men like skinny girls, and that doesn't necessarily signal the presence of prejudice, it's just a preference. Another example, some men like big boobs. That doesn't mean that the flat-chested girls like me should be offended and label such men as prejudice, because it wouldn't make any sense to do so. Also, women have preferences too, like social status, height, muscle mass, dark features versus light features, corporate suits versus lumberjacks versus alternative style. That doesn't necessarily make us prejudiced either towards everyone that doesn't fit into our preferences, because in the end of the day, that's just what it is, a preference. Now, if somebody, whether male or female, goes out of their way to demean, bully, inferiorize, or even intimidate anyone that doesn't fit their preference, that's when it crosses the line into prejudice, in my opinion. And from that video, Genuine wasn't rude or even disrespectful towards India. She just seems like a wounded bird or a perpetual victim, to be totally honest. So, in saying this, as a community, we shouldn't be quick to label someone as prejudiced because we don't fit their dating preference. Believe in abundance and know that every rejection is God's protection and there's someone for you. Is that simple? And also, back to India. I know this is a few years late. I'm late on my opinion in this vlog. But back to India, what she did in that video, I'm gonna try and see if I can find the video and put it in here.
But you
would go out with another woman.
Would I go out with a woman?
You would go out with a woman.
Yes, of course.
But you wouldn't go out with a transsexual woman.
No.
The fact Genuine here, you know, is happy to go with women, but he's
but not
happy.
every woman.
Yeah, but he's happy to go with women, but he's not happy to go. This isn't an attack on you. I'm just saying he wouldn't feel comfortable going with what is termed, he wouldn't feel comfortable going with me. If you're in my situation and you are trying to date, there is an extremely narrow band.
You're saying you're
and
not
from
gay,
my
but you're
experience,
not gay.
I'm not gay. But I've tried to date, and everything that comes back, me up not knowing my past. But then as soon as they find out, whoa, I'm a woman, right?
Okay.
Forget about any T's or anything in front of it. I'm just a woman, okay? So on that score, you would date me, wouldn't you?
Not if you told me you was trans.
No, I'm not telling you I'm trans. I'm a woman.
A woman, yeah, a woman.
You would date me then?
Woman, yeah.
Go on, let's have a kiss. You see, and I think
he's just not that into it.
I think all the unspoken things that you can read into both those responses there illustrate my case 100. Genuine here.
No, he
prove my case.
No, but in my
That's my preference. She said what I did.
I'm a woman.
No.
But
that doesn't mean I don't like her or
date me.
No. The question was about trans women.
Yeah.
You said, would you date trans women?
Because I'm trans.
Thank you. That's all.
He might not date me. He might not date
No. I'm not talking about individuals.
You mean as a trans
bracket.
person?
Anyone trans.
That's a preference.
That's what I said. No.
It's a preference.
No, come on. See you guys.
It's the same
Are
thing.
you mad? Don't get mad.
You can't get
See you now.
mad. That's the same as him saying, listen, okay,
I want us to
I'm
have
sorry,
a
can I say something really
conversation?
quickly? I am 100% sure that we are living with a victim.
Right. Right.
She's going to find every
Only because
reason
we want to
walk
understand.
away. If one
What she did, that's some kind of that's harassment. I'm sorry. But when you force a kiss on somebody, that's harassment. And in some cases, people have gotten sued for much less than that. People have gotten sued, people have lost their jobs, people have lost their reputations for a lot less than what she did, because that is harassing. That is an harassment right there. And for her to then take it a step further where she is upset, visibly upset by his rejection or him rebuffing her advances, she's just an entitled white woman. I'm sorry, she's just an entitled white transsexual woman. There, I said it. And this is probably going to piss off a lot of girls in the trans community. I mean, it is what it is. I'm trans, so I can say whatever I want to say. And man choosing not to date you doesn't make him transphobic. Now, in a perfect world, I would prefer for men to stop killing us. I would prefer for men to stop violating us. I would prefer for society to give us a fair shot to have access to jobs and housing and food and basic human rights. That's what I'm focused on, not by whether you want to date me or not. Like, are you really that vain? Are you really that fragile? Like, girls and men. Tweets like this doesn't make any sense. Like, this is just, this right here is just a dog whistle. This is just like gaslighting. Like, tweets like this don't make any sense. Like, If he doesn't want to date you, he doesn't want to date you. He's just not that into you. And it's okay. You'll be fine. For every man who's not interested, there's another one who is. Because guess what? I've said this in the video before, and some men, because I have some male subscribers, and some of y'all got upset with me, and that's fine. It's okay. But I'll say this again. Men are like bosses, meaning there's always another one coming. So for everyone that you miss, there's always the next one coming. And take that with you and hope it changes your life and makes you enriched. So that's my word of the day in this video. Take of it what you will, and let me know what you think about my presentation today. And by the way, tell me what you think about the sunflowers in my hair. I'm a sunflower. I spread joy and I attract butterflies. I spread beauty and joy and happiness and lightness, and I attract butterflies, honey. So let me know what you think. So as always, protect your energy, spread love, keep the peace, and above all, be kind to one another. And I'll see you real soon. So until then, fly high, my butterflies. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.